7th graders. Welcome to your first official math lesson of the year. And you can see that today's learning target is to identify the difference between numerical and algebraic expressions. If you don't already have a page in your notes out, you should take a piece of paper from your notes out. And if you need a sample of what a good note page would look like, I have a picture of that on Google Classroom also. And the first thing we're going to write down is a numerical expression. A numerical expression is a math sentence that only has numbers and symbols. There is an infinite amount of numerical expressions that you could create. You might have a numerical expression that says 9 minus 6. As long as it only has numbers and symbols, you have a numerical expression. It could also be a very long expression. Like I said, the possibilities for a numerical expression are infinite. If you aren't writing this down, you definitely should start. Feel free to pause the video whenever you need, if you need more time, and if I'm going too fast. The second thing we need to write down is a variable. You might be familiar with that word variable from 6th grade math, and that is awesome. The more we can remember from 6th grade, the better off we will be. A variable is a letter that stands for a number. It's holding the place of a number in our expressions. And you might be thinking, okay, there are 26 possibilities, but there are actually 25. Any letter except O. Because O looks like a 0, and that's going to be very, very tricky as we go forward on, do they mean O? Do they mean 0? What is going on? So you could use any letter besides 0. You might like A, you might like B. If your name is Sally, you might like S. Probably the most famous variable, X. Again, you should be writing this down in your notes. Third thing, algebraic expression. Third thing for your notes. An algebraic expression has numbers, symbols, and variables. If you remember our goal for today, identify the difference between numerical and algebraic expressions. So you might now be noticing, I see a difference. Numerical had numbers and symbols. Algebraic has those variables mixed in. If you use the famous variable x, it might look like x minus 2. If you are Sally, she might write s plus 3. And of course, it can be a really, really long expression with a mixture of symbols and variables and numbers. So there are infinite possibilities for that algebraic expression. The goal was to be able to identify the difference. These two would be a really good thing to write down as an example. I see 5 minus 5, and I see C minus 5. This would be a good place to pause and see if you can identify them. If you had numerical for A and algebraic for B, you are on the right track. And again, that variable C was my giveaway that it was going to be an algebraic expression. Also, I don't know about you, but algebraic is a very tricky word for me to spell. So I always have to look back at the directions to see what was that again? What was that again? Last examples to write down. Again, this would be a good place to pause and test yourself. Can I identify the difference between numerical and variable? If you picked algebraic for A and C, because there are those variables again, switching us to algebraic. And then B is numerical. Today's goal, one more time, to be able to identify a numerical expression and an algebraic expression. You might have already guessed that on today's turn-in paper, this is probably your third turn-in paper. Page 6, part 1. Please, please, please get what page is on the top, and also putting the date on the top would be awesome. And you are ready to try some similar problems, numerical and algebraic.